Veve drops are becoming increasingly hard to get as more users are coming on the platform. So today I wanted to offer you some of my best tips from different YouTubers and things that I've tried myself for each different type of drop that's on the platform to potentially help you further get these drops. Let's get started. Welcome in everyone, my name is Andy and I appreciate you taking some time to watch this video on the channel. Just before we get started, none of this is financial advice, this is just my own personal experience. And thank you to all the Patreons who continue to support me in creating these videos. Veve has been increasing their drops, but also their user base, meaning I am getting way less drops than I used to, and it is frustrating. I'm still loving to be a part of it because that adrenaline rush of potentially getting a drop is truly incredible. But today I'm going to offer some of the best advice I can from different YouTubers, Reddit posts and all that sort of stuff. You cover all the different drops that happen on Veve and what you can do to potentially increase your chances of actually getting them. So the first one, just use bots. Simple. Seriously, the first we're going to cover is Granola Warfare's tips and tricks on Reddit. I'll leave a link to all the different YouTubers who have talked about this sort of stuff in the description and this Reddit post as well, but Granola Warfare has covered a fair whack about the purchasing of the digital collectibles, comics, all that sort of stuff, and I really like the way that they've done it. So I'm going to cover the ones that I do, and then you can also read all the things on the actual description if you'd like. Now, Granola Warfare's tips are up on the screen, but I'm going to talk through just like the sort of 5-step process that I do in order to get ready for every single drop that's going to be happening. You can go into further depth with all of these if you'd like. These have worked for me in the past. Some of them may not be as good as others, but these are the ones that I do anyway. I first shut off all of the apps that I've already got open on my phone, turn my phone off and turn it back on. Once it's back on, remove all notifications on my phone, so I'm going do not disturb to make sure that nothing interferes with me trying to get this drop and nothing's trying to get through to my phone whilst I'm actually going for it. Actually, I got a text one of the times bang on the drop, got flustered by the text that came up and I missed the button. So I'm never doing that again, and that's why the do not disturb works for me great. The next thing to do is turn off auto lock. It happens within a minute or so of you not doing it. So turning off auto lock allows you to actually go into your phone earlier to get ready for the drop to make sure everything is sorted and you're ready to go. The next one is to go into your app, and you'll see on the screen right here, if you go to profile and then you go to settings and then you go to my files, you'll see your total size. Remove all downloaded files. Do that because it allows the app to run faster, potentially process you getting the drop earlier. After that, to me, you're sort of ready to go. I'm on the app 5 minutes before. It runs a lot better than it used to, where you have to come on 15 minutes before because it'd be too high traffic when you would come on 5 minutes before. But 5 minutes works for me perfectly fine. And once you've done all those steps, you're sort of ready to go. Now, a few additional steps that I have not tried myself yet, but I'm definitely going to be trying in the future to see if they work any better than what I'm getting, is buying an Ethernet cable for your phone. I believe it lowers your ping, but I know it increases your speed by actually having it there. With all the slight advantages you could get, an Ethernet could potentially help you do that. We've all done a video on this before, and I believe Cavell Anderson as well is now using it or going to be using it soon. So hopefully we get more information on that. But I know Veve did seem to get a little bit more when he started using it and when he started talking about it in his videos. Now that we understand the basics of what you can do when it comes to this, I'm going to try to show you all of the different techniques that you can use for each individual drop system. Now, the first one is the comic book drops. And on the screen, you'll see where I am, but the comic book drops you will find on the store. And if you go up to the top where the digital collectible drop down is, you click on that and then you click on digital comics. Now, of course, right now, these are not available because there's none that are coming out, but often you'll come to a screen like this, and I'll try to show you pictures of countdowns or things that are happening when I'm doing it, because obviously I can't do it right now. I believe I have some videos of me actually going for the drop, so I'll try and put those on the screen. But as you can see, the $6.99 and the sold out are both there together. What you'll have on here is a countdown system, and you'll see that on the screen right now. And with the countdown system, you can click the buy now before it's actually happened, but all will happen is it will say error. And what you actually want to do is you want to line up the buy now button with the OK error message. This then allows you to spam the buy now button 2 seconds before the drop actually happens. Your aim here is to click the buy now button as fast as you can once the timer has finished. So by lining it up with the error message, you're able to spam click the buy now and the OK, both message text box together, meaning you're going to be faster at clicking the buy now button once it actually opens up. And Cavell Anderson done a video recently on his method where he turned his phone landscape so that he had the support of both of his hands to click the buy now button faster. Now, I tried this method, but I still found that me clicking it, holding it horizontal still worked just as quick. But for some people, this might work, and it's definitely up for giving it a go. And this is how it will be on the main screen. All that's different from what you see right now is that there'll be a countdown instead of it saying sold out. So that countdown will be exactly where you want to line it up. And you'll be able to see how to line it up, because if you double click the buy now button and you click the OK, you'll be able to keep your finger at the same place to click both of those at the same time. And that's the quickest way you're going to be able to get it for the comic book drops. Now, the second one is the blind box drops. Now, these are a little bit different to the way that normal collectible drops and comic book drops work. As you see on the screen right here, you can see the Spider-Mans that have been there from the blind box, but this isn't how it usually is. Often, and you'll see on the screen right now what it usually looks like before the drop, there's only telling you about Spider-Man and also that it's a blind box series. This buy now button doesn't come up until the timer is done. You will be able to see the timer and when it's going to drop, but this buy now button is not going to appear until that happens. Where the buy now appears is below where it says this is a blind box experience. This one, you can't actually spam the buy now button. You can't get the lineup tactic for this. All you can do is hope that as soon as that buy now button comes up, you're quick enough to click the buy now, and then obviously you may or may not get it, even if you're quick enough to do so. But this is the screen you want to be on. You won't be able to go onto each individual collectible like you can see here, because it will actually tell you participate in this blind box from the series screen. So you're not going to be able to get it from each individual collectible if it's a blind box for collectibles. You'll have to participate, which will be here. The countdown will be active, and the buy now button will only appear once the timer has stopped. So know that you don't have to find somewhere where you can spam it and you can line it up, because you're not going to be able to do it for this one. You're just going to have to hit and hope that you get it early enough and you see it quick enough and you're able to line it up best. Obviously, the buy now button's at the right side of the screen, so just have your thumb ready at the right side of the screen to try to click it as fast as you can as soon as you see it. Final one for this video is just the normal collectible drop. So if we go into the Dragon Girl, I wish I'd got one of these when it happened, but I didn't manage to pick any up. And just like the comic books, this is the same. I'm going to show you a video of me going for one of these drops. Not the Dragon Girl, so I actually had a power cut before that happened. But the same with these, you line up the buy now button with the OK error message that you get. And again, you can have it horizontal, landscape, whatever you would like. You are able to line it up. There's a little bit of a different technique that some people use when it comes to the individual collectibles. And there's a few different methods. People say it works, some people say it doesn't. I don't think there's been any proof as of yet if they actually do. But in the past, when you were on the store screen and you were going for the new drops that were coming, this home screen was very laggy. It really wasn't that great, and it would often make your app crash, especially when the drop was coming. So what people often done was they clicked on the collectible that was coming out, and on the button at the right, they would save it to their wish list. And what this means is when you go to your collectibles and you scroll down to my wish list, the collectible is there. And when you were on this screen, the app didn't lag as much because there wasn't a certain amount of people who were the same as those who were on the store screen. So you had less lag and you could go for the collectible just like everyone else, but your app had less chances of crashing. Now, in the future, some people have done some different methods where you actually share onto the feed, and you go onto the feed before the drop and you click there. As they say, it's a different page for the app, meaning the less users, the less lag, and the potential to get the drop better. But again, I don't actually think there's been any proven data to show that this is actually the case. So just take it at your own risk, whatever you'd like to do, whatever you're more comfortable with. I still save to my wish list because it's something I've done for a while, but if I do find something that works better, I will be sure to let you know. What I would also recommend is a minute before the drop happens, come off of the page and go back on the page, as it often refreshes the time. I've sometimes managed to get the timer by another second by doing this, as it just refreshes the data. So sometimes you might be a little bit out of your time and then you might not have a chance of getting it because it could sell out in a second. So by doing that just a minute before, come out of it, go back in, as it might reset the time to the right time that you're actually needing. The final tip that I'm going to give, and I don't think as many people know about it, is the rebound tip. Now, what happens when you get the collectible is you have 90 seconds to purchase it. And that means that some people are going to fail at doing so. They're not going to have enough gems, their app crashes, but their collectible is reserved for those 90 seconds. And after those 90 seconds, and once the process has been done, if the collectible has not been purchased, it goes back into the loop of being able to be purchased. So that means after a minute and a half, there's every chance that another collectible could actually come up, even after it says that it's sold out. Now, with the digital collectible drops, the individual ones, what you can do is slowly raise up the bottom toolbar and it refreshes the page, like you can see on the screen right now. When I raise that toolbar up a little bit, and then put it back down, it refreshes the page. Now, if you do that and you scroll down, the buy now button can come back up after the minute and a half. You're also able to refresh the screen from the top, and with some Android users, and my dad has like the iPhone 10 or something, you can refresh it incredibly fast. Mine's the iPhone 7, so I'm not even able to do much with it, but he's been able to refresh it incredibly fast and get those rebounds purely because of this. Remember, these rebounds do happen with most drops because things are going to go wrong with some other people who actually get them. I've managed to see buy nows 10 minutes after the drops actually happened, so there is still hope. If you don't manage to get it first time round, you could definitely try it second time round. Comics, you can't do this method. On my phone, I can. I don't know if anyone else can. And with the blind boxes, the digital collectibles, you also can't do this. I'm going to just double check that to make sure I'm not mistaken. But when you're on this screen, I don't think you're able to refresh the same way you can. No, you can't refresh the same way you can on a single digital collectible. So that only works single digital collectibles. I'm not sure if that works elsewhere for other different phones, but for me it doesn't. So that's something you can test out, and if you know anything that I don't, be sure to let me know. That is all my tips for the drop days when it comes to Veve collectibles right now. And if there's anything that you know and you'd like to share in the comments, I'd love to hear it because I want to get more drops as well. But I appreciate you taking time to watch this video, and thank you to all the patrons who keep supporting me and doing what I'm doing. I know the video on the screen right now will be something you'll love to watch. Have a fantastic day.